diverse side as he cleans up a little bit off the court.
Coach Davenport, a great coach, does a lot of coaching sometimes when Coach Hoffman is maybe working the referees and things like that. Does a lot of coaching, a lot of X's and O's. He's a great coach, and he will be a great collegiate coach probably somewhere else someday.
Good point. Morrissey.
Weedle's still in the game.
There they find Cardenas. This is what we want. Kicks it out. Martin for three. Bingo! Clay Martin, 82-78. A 4-point advantage for the Bison defense. Chant right now. 1:45 left to go. They go inside to Weedle.
It's going to be no secret where they're going to go for the rest of the game. They got to get in Brad Weedle's hands. Great defense by Lamont Ford.
Lamont Ford.
That ball is swatted out. What a big defensive play by Lamont Ford.
This ain't your grandmother's Ford here. 82-78.
Boy, and we talk about you want the ball in nobody else's hands at the end of the game, and Clay Martin comes up with two big free throws and a big three-pointer. Didn't have a whole lot of points in this game, but boy, he has some big ones.
And Ford on the defensive end with that block shot, just played him straight up and threw it. Woolridge is going to pass off to Morrissey. He's got 10 seconds on the shot clock, going to run off some time. This ought to be easy for Morrissey with Kennedy on him. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, Lamont short. Offensive rebound, Clay Martin, and he's fouled.
Big rebound, and the crowd letting Jay Mock know about it on the other side. Coach Hoffman going crazy. Tito Pena and Bobby Connor will check into the Bison for a defensive-offensive substitution. What a big play. Lamont Ford just pops up, tries to get something off. Clay Martin with the only guy on that side of the basket. Good hustle by Jay Mott. Got to give him credit for that. Picks up the foul. That is his fourth. Really not a big factor right here. Once again, Clay Martin goes to the line for two big free throws. Say it again. Who else should have the ball?
This reminds me of the Sooner Athletic Conference Championship game with Clay Martin with a buzzer beater over OCU. Great win for the Bison. And another free throw. As I'm losing my voice.
And here's a look at it again. Brad Weedle moves to the inside. Look at Lamont Ford. Great timing. Just swats that thing out. And look at that look.
That might be the play of the game right there.
Clay Martin sinks both of them to put the Bison up by 6 with under a minute to play in this Sooner Athletic Conference contest.
They're looking for a three now.
They have to.
Danny Brown be the one to shoot it. Mock for three. In and out. Morrissey, big rebound, and he's fouled by Kennedy. This place is going crazy.
Well, I think you combine some things. You combine the junk that went on last night and what the Bison fans woke up to on our campus this morning. You combine the guys coming over here to our house, not just coming into our house to play basketball, but coming over and vandalizing our campus. You combine that with the rest of that's going on, and you can't take that out on the team. This is a great team and a well-coached team, but you take that all into play as you talk about the fans being on their feet and loving it.
I tell you what, if the Bison, well, there's a lot of time left, 44 seconds. It's a 6-point game. That's still only 2 possessions. So these free throws are also crucial because if we can get it with a 3-possession ball game, that helps out tremendously. So this game is not over yet. Don't want to put the biscuit in the basket yet.
Makes it very difficult, though, if you go up by 7 and 8 points. It makes it very difficult to get 3 possessions in 44 seconds, especially with the Bison playing ball control ball. You have to think who they have on the court right now. They have Quinn Wood. No, not Quinn Williams. I'm sorry. They have Lamont Ford, who's shooting 74% from the free throw line. They have Tito Pena shooting 60%. You have Kevin Morrissey, who hits his second, shooting 67%. So it shows you what averages do for you. You throw them out the window. You know they'll be at the free throw line for the rest of this game.
8-point game. Brown fakes the three, kicks it out.
The Eagles cannot afford to do this.
Mock and drains it, and a timeout. A big three by Mock, 86-81. The freshman, he's got skills.
Big play by the freshman, Jay Mock. And, boy, we talk about a diminutive stature, but I remember a young guard playing on Bison Hill a few years ago named Brad Thompson. Not a big fella, but can make a lot of things happen. Jay Mock seems to fit that profile.
Big three-pointer. It's 5 points. Again, free throws will come into play here as they will foul immediately. If you're Coach Hayes, Jay mentioned some of the people out there.
You look for Quinn Woolridge to be on the floor. You look for Clay Martin, Kevin Morrissey. You look for, I don't know. Look for maybe you can't put Mike Henry on the floor. Looking for some of the highest percentages. Put Lamont down the floor.
Well, let's go ahead and go to a commercial. We'll be back with the final seconds of this ball game.
It is a test, not just of strength, but of the power of the mind. And if you complete the journey, you will be changed forever. The few.
Well, another timeout by the Bison. Kachenko could not have the inbounds pass. That's a substitution by Hoffman there. So Kachenko calls timeout. And Kachenko here is an excellent free throw shooter. That's why he's in the game. He was an inbounds player here, so maybe they have an inbounds play where they give it right back to him. 86-81.
Well, I think the secrets that we know, the good free throw shooters that we know, are no secret to Coach Hayes. He knows who can shoot the ball for the Bison, and you know that they're going to be putting extra men on them. An excellent free throw shooting team on the floor right now for the Bison. Any one of them could step up. You would look to try to get the ball into Clay Martin,
Hoffman.
Quinn Wooldridge.
Change it to Kachenko is now fouled with 29.9 seconds left to go. Weedle and Danny Brown will check into the ball game. So 29.9, 86-81. That's the game set up. And now Vladimir Kachenko, the insane in the Ukraine train, is at the free throw line.
Big point about this, John, is you're shooting two shots. The Bison at this point in the second half have still not reached the double bonus. If the Eagles were, by some stretch of the imagination, were to reach the double, were to be fouled, they would be shooting 1-1.
How much of an effect does Vladdy have just coming right off the bench shooting free throws?
It's a really good point. I don't know that necessarily he would be the one you wanted to have the ball. He is a great shooter. He's only shot 4 free throws this year in a game.
And he misses a first. Still, even if he makes this, it's still a 2-point or a 2-possession game. No rebounders. Vladimir misses them both. 5 points, 25 seconds left to go.
Well,
Kennedy, there's Brown. He'll probably pull it. He goes for the 2. And they call timeout, 19 seconds. 3-point ball game.
And the big thing with that, Quinn Wooldridge was actually on the inbounds pass, was fairly open. If they had seen him, they got it into Vladimir. If Vladimir had actually seen him over his back shoulder, you could have got the ball to Quinn Wooldridge. You have to like your chances with that. But Vladimir is not a bad shooter. He's just very cold coming off the bench.
You think Hoffman would want Wooldridge or Martin to have the ball. Sometimes they just don't work out that way. Vladdy probably was the person to have that. He's got a good free throw shooting percentage. And I think he was just a little cold. He's still in the ball game though, so he puts trust in him. He's a senior.
Vladimir handles the ball well, and he does shoot the ball well. I mean, we definitely you have to give him that. Quinn Wooldridge.
Wooldridge is going to be fouled.
Well, that'll put Wooldridge at the line, and we got to like that. Fouled without the ball. No time goes off the clock.
That's a good foul by the Eagles, fouling away from the ball to not allow any time to expire. So 86-83. It's a 1-possession ball game unless Quinn can hit these 2 free throws that he have, the double bonus. And we mentioned earlier, talking about the girls' game, they only get the 1-and-1, which adds more pressure. Which do you like better, the double bonus or the 1-and-1?
Well, it depends on which side of it I'm on. Definitely in this situation, I like to be in the double bonus to have 2 shots. But if the opposing team's going to the line, definitely I want them to have a 1-and-1. I want them to feel that. Quinn Wooldridge uncharacteristically bounds one away. An 80% free throw shooter on the season really needs to hit this one, and does. This makes it a 2-possession ball game, John.
4 points, 15 seconds. Brown, that's a 2. No, man, Weedle.
Don't get Weedle over the back.
Coursey all over. Connor picks it up, and he's fouled.
And that is Danny Brown's 5th and final foul. Only 5 seconds left in the game, so not a big factor. But Danny Brown will not be taking the game-winning shot or the game-tying shot in this game.
That can pretty much seal it. Bobby Connor will go to the line. That was frantic action. That was great hustle by the Bison.
Yep.
Coursey was on the ground. Martin was on the ground. Connor, almost every player for the Bison was on the ground trying to get the ball, and it came up in Connor's hands, who will be shooting 2 free throws today.
Bobby Connor shooting 76% on the season, but once again, we talk about you get in these kind of games, you throw that stuff out.
And he does not get it So you cannot foul the three-point shot. Everybody just needs to back off the three-point shooters. And Oklahoma Christian wants to make this and call timeout. And Martin gets the steal. Wooldridge, 0. That's the ball game. 87-83. That is our ball game. What a win for Oklahoma Baptist University. OBU, number 1 in the nation, pulls out a great conference win at home, where the tide has been reversed. As in the conference, they were 9-3. The away team was 9-3, so now it's 9-4 as OBU wins the conference game here against Oklahoma Christian.
Well, I'll tell you what, Oklahoma Christian came in here ready to play, and we know that they have gone on the road and beaten tough teams at their place. Oklahoma Christian, a very good road team. They came in here and gave the Bison all they wanted. But this was a great game for the Bison, a great win for the Bison, and a big factor here tonight, the free throw shooting and the clutch shooting down the stretch of now I've lost my train of thought. A big clutch free throw shooting of Clay Martin and the big three-pointers down the stretch. Cannot say enough about the impact that had on the turn of this game. Clay was able to step up, hit 2 free throws, hit a three-pointer, hit 2 more free throws. Clay is the guy you want to have the ball in the game, I think.
That was a great win, 87-83. And we will be back right after this with more analysis in our J&J Most Valuable Player. OBU's number 1, OCU is 16, but you can throw away those rankings because this is going to be a heck of a ball game here tonight.
You can also throw away the shot clock, John. Coach Wincase said this is going to be an up and down, fast-paced tempo. He said he wouldn't be surprised if the score got in the 90s or the 100s. It's going to be exciting basketball tonight from the Noble Sports Complex. Let's get a look at OBU's starting lineup.
Starting the lineup for the Oklahoma Baptist University Bison. Number 4, Quinn Woolbridge. Number 12, Clay Martin. He will be running point guard. Number 21, Kevin Morrissey. Number 22, Eric Cardenas. And number 20, the shot blocker, Lamond. This ain't your grandmother's Ford. Quickly now to the starting lineup of the Oklahoma City University Chiefs. Number 10, Raymond Roberts, 6'2", senior guard out of Bartlesville. Number 22, John Wheaton, 6'2", junior guard out of Moore, Oklahoma. Number 23, Aaron Hall. He's a Aaron Howell, 6'2", junior forward out of El Reno. Number 40, Leonard Jones, a newcomer to the Chiefs basketball team, 6'7", senior forward out of Seattle, Washington. And number 45, another newcomer, Jermaine Stewart, 6'7", junior forward out of the Bahamas. I wonder if he likes Oklahoma's weather.
And what wonderful weather we had today as the high reached the mid-70s, John. It's almost as hot outside as it's going to be in here. Buckle your seatbelts because we're getting ready to ride.
Officiating the game tonight is Dan Wall, Chris White, and Paul Wilson. There's Coach Win Case. Coach Case has done an outstanding job with the Chiefs. In fact, they're national champions of last year. They've had an up and down season. I say up and down, they are 14-3, so not much down, but they have had some turmoil in the Oklahoma City camp.
And they've won the national championship 4 out of the last 6 years. That's a tribute to Coach Win Case and the players that he can bring into his program.
Ford could not get it, but he tips the ball out to Cardenas for the first rebound. Stewart 0 for 1. Cardenas at the high post. Woolbridge inside the Lamont Ford. The turnaround. Howe went up for the rebound, tipped it out. Lamont Ford usually makes that shot, Heath.
Tough shot by Lamont Ford, a fadeaway 15-foot jumper. Not his normal shot. He needs to face up and go to the basket.
Morrissey, nice catch by Cardenas. Fights for it, the best hands in the SAC. Martin resets for the Bison. 0-0 is our score.
I think Leonard Jones has something to say about best hands in the SAC.
Quinn Woolridge fakes the three, drives inside. Nice pass. Morrissey tried a fancy pass to Cardenas, couldn't handle it.
No look pass, it wasn't called for there, Hickman. A turnover by the Bison, their first of the game.
Howell, no good on the three. Martin with the rebound. Like we said, throw away the shot clock. Alley-oop play to Lamont Ford. He wanted it on the other side of the rim, couldn't handle it, missed layup.
Ford should have grabbed that and came down with it, then went back up.
How much are nerves playing a role, Heath?
Hey, both these teams are going to come out. It's going to be a little sloppy at first.
Big rebound by Lamont Ford.
The intensity's real high right now. It'll take a couple minutes to settle in.
Cardenas regains 15-foot jumper, no good. A little bit too much adrenaline running through these basketball players.
Yeah, neither team can hit a shot right now. Just look for a senior to do something.
We're going to have a foul away from the ball. This foul is going to be on Quinn Woolridge. There's John Whedon in your screen. He's out of Moore, Oklahoma. He's a junior. Some say he looks like Ryan Miner. His game kind of resembles him. A good shooter and a great athlete as he has outstanding jumping ability.
Well, John, we can't talk about OCU without mentioning Marcus Lovett, the star of the Oklahoma City University team. A big reason why they were ranked #1 in the preseason. Lovett got in some trouble with his grades and was suspended from the team. Since that time, Oklahoma City has not played particularly well, but they're getting used to a bunch of new faces. Lovett was a big loss, but we'll see how they can come back tonight.
Going to be foul, no, traveling. Good call by the ref. On the Lovett situation, the only hour that he passed at Oklahoma City was varsity basketball. In Lovett's defense, he has ADD.
I love it. Lovett got a 2% on a math test, according to the Oklahoma City newspaper, Daily Oklahoman, an article in there.
Foul on Aaron Howell, that's his first. It's the team's first also.
Now the Bison are 14-0 at home this season. They love to play at the Noble Complex.
Nice catch again by Cardenas, and he's fouled by Leonard Jones. Again, the best hands in the SAC. Heath, nice left-handed grab by Cardenas.
Good grab by Cardenas. He travels to the free throw line.
He will be shooting two.
He's a 73% free throw shooter on the year.
Bison looking for the first points. They still don't have it. And quickly we have a substitution in. Bobby Connor checks into the ball game for Quinn Woolridge. I imagine a defensive substitution.
Of course, John Connor, a great defensive player. Woolridge, a little sketchy on defense at times. Connor brings some athleticism to the floor, so we all know he can get up.
We're already starting to see a lot of physical play. Connor's on Whedon, former high school teammates. They're out there laughing, but the rest of the players are elbowing each other and telling each other about it. There's Stewart, stripped by Connor. Great defensive play. Morrissey leads the break, finds Connor. Three-pointer, bingo!
Good look.
And 1 equals 4 points for the Bison, 0 for the Chiefs.
Great look by Kevin Morrissey to find Connor, who ran his lane perfectly after he got the strip.
Morrissey averages 6 assists per ball game. That's unusual for a power forward, but Morrissey plays all positions on the floor.
Morrissey has struggled offensively this year, but the rest of his game is there, almost averaging 10 rebounds a game, and as you said, 6 assists.
Nice looking shot by Stewart there. Talking with Coach Case, he was really impressed with Leonard Jones and Stewart and how their game has turned around. And there's that turnaround, speaking of, by Lamont Ford with the J, 6-2.
That shot, you can't stop that shot, John. That's just, he's got 2 long arms, he'll just fall away all night.
Roberts, he runs the show. Turn around, but he took too many steps. Heath, I believe he stepped on Clay Martin's shoe there and lost control.
Didn't see that for sure, John, as Tito Pena checks in the game. Pena is a lot like pound cake, simple and almost as good, John. He's a great defensive player. That's what he's in there for. He won't get a lot of offense out of him, though.
Martin all the way to the rack, out. Tito Pena, jumper, hard off the glass. I believe Whedon got a tip of it. Nice hustle by Martin Morrissey. Back to Martin, 3. Bingo! Clay Martin for 3.
Martin answers the crowd's call. He's from Tulsa Hell. They were calling him a Tulsa reject. He sticks it in their face with a 3-point shot.
Martin played football for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane and was the second leading receiver on that team. Tito Pena, the big rebound. Aaron Howe missed the shot.
Chiefs struggling from the floor to start off.
Lamont Ford again, sorry Heath, and that gives Ford 4 points, 11-2. Bison on a big run. Coach Case calmly though, telling his troops what he wants. 15:56 left to go in the first half. Martin on Roberts ought to be an interesting matchup. Roberts looking inside, double team.
Bison here in a tight man-to-man, and that's OCU's 3rd turnover of the game.
Ford wasn't looking. Ford to Connor, reverse layup, and he gets it. That's just an athletic move.
Wow, Connors loves the baseline. He's one of the best baseline. Moves well on the baseline. The crowd is pumped up. Let's get ready to go.
13-2. A big run to open the game for the Bison. Heath, are the Bison mad after falling to 19 points to Phillips University in Enid? Is this playing a role?
It plays a little bit, but John, the rivalry here, it's amazing. As you said earlier, 2 buzzer beaters last year. That has a lot to do with the way the Bison have come out thus far.
13-2 is our score.
Let's get a replay here as Clay dribbles down. Bad pass, but Lamont gets control of it. Long arms of Lamont Ford down to Bobby Connor, who makes a spectacular baseline move to put the Bison ahead 13-2.
We will resume action here. Now into the game is number 5, Talford Berry, 5'9", senior guard. He's out of Dumas, Arkansas. Berry has an impressive 3-point shot. Look for him to stay outside in the 3-point zone. Mike Hendren also into the ball game.
Berry shoots 50% from the 3-point line.
Roberts did not impress us on that one. Martin with the steal. Doesn't have numbers. We'll hold it up just for a second. Cross-court pass. Bobby Connor looking for a second 3. And he got it.
It's 8 points for Bobby Connor, and the Chiefs are not playing good transition defense. Bison got several easy shots on the fast break. See what Coach Wincase does to stop that.
Leonard Jones, short. Connor with the rebound. Martin going thumbs up, thumbs up. Everybody play 7 up.
Must be a lid on the basket, the Chiefs, and they cannot hit a shot, Mr. Hickman. Only hitting 1 shot so far.
There's Connor on the baseline. This time the nice pass to Mike Hendren. Mike Hendren is money in the paint.
Great inside post player from 10 feet and in. Hendren is almost impossible to stop. Used to walk on, had a scholarship at OSU. Oh.
Great call by the ref. Clay Martin stands in the paint and takes the charge. Coming into the game for the Bison will be number 15, Dominique Coursey, 6'4" junior guard out of Oklahoma City. Quinn Woldridge checks back in, and Eric Cardenas also checks back in. That's the 5 for the Bison.
See who takes the charge exactly. Clay Martin gets great position. He gets called as he helps the Bison regain control of the ball.
Coursey with Hal on him. Barry, as we mentioned, is number 5. This time Cardenas in the paint. They're going to call steps.
Coach Case mentioned they had to stop Cardenas down low there, and Cardenas turns the ball over, packed his suitcases, and took a trip on that play.
Coach Case has the utmost respect for this Bison squad. In fact, when the Bison team got beat out in the national tournament, Coach Hoffman gave them a tape of the game and helped Coach Case, in his words, win the national championship.
Well, the Chiefs just can't get comfortable offensively. That's due in part to the Bison defense not shooting the ball well at all.
18-2 is our score. It's amazing that the Chiefs have only scored 2 points so far in this ball game. We have played 6.5 minutes in this first half, and the Chiefs are just being dominated right now. And there is a potential steal by Martin, who taps it back. Barry waits for it to cross the timeline, picks it up. Barry, 3-pointer, way off the mark. He just made me look really bad. Aaron Howe with the 2 points.
the Chiefs have 6 players in double figures, but they're not showing it thus far. As Cardenas appeared to get hit in the nose.
Roberts took a charge. Cardenas is bleeding. Looks right beneath the eye. He's going to have to come out.
Apparently he caught an elbow from either Leonard Jones or Jermaine Stewart.
Hoffman is talking to the ref right now saying, we've heard no blood, no foul, but there is blood, so what is the excuse this time? Into the game, Heath, is Vladimir Insane in the Ukraine train, Kachenko. He's a senior out of the Ukraine. He is number 25. Lamont Ford will check in for Cardenas, as we mentioned, is bleeding right below the right eye.
John, in each of the last 2 seasons, the Bison have lost the road game before playing Oklahoma City and Shawnee, just like they did this year. In those 2 games, the Bison prevailed in both of those contests. One of those on a Quinn Woolridge 3-pointer at the buzzer.
Whedon, no good. Coursey the rebound. Is that because they're looking ahead, or why do they seem to do that?
Apparently Hoffman does a good job of getting them ready to play again. And we all remember Quinn's shot. What a shot by a freshman.
Ford going up for the dunk. He was fouled by Stewart.
It's amazing. Jermaine Stewart looks a lot like Johan Schnicklis of Phillips a year ago.
That's the second foul on Stewart. Stewart is 6'7". Also, Leonard Jones is 6'7". That has improved this team immensely because before them, the tallest player they had was 6'7" Alex Carvanian, who does not really see a lot of time. Then after that, they dropped to 6'2".
Mumford is a 72% free throw shooter on the year. Appears to be Bob Hoffman's going to run in and out men this first period.
Clay Martin comes in for Vladimir. Free throw good by Lamont Ford, 20-4. We're going to have another timeout by Coach Case.
Ford and Cardenas are 2nd and 3rd in the NAIA respectively in field goal percentage. So we just saw that statistic there flash on the screen.
We mentioned the height of the Chiefs, 6'7" and 6'7" Jones and Leonard, but the Bison are very tall themselves with Eric Cardenas, who's 6'9". Sorry for the technical difficulties. There's a huge crowd here, and they keep bumping our wires, and so if we go in and out, we'll get that fixed immediately. As I was saying, Eric Cardenas is 6'9", Lamont Ford 6'8", Tito Pena is 6'9", and right now the Bison hold a rebounding advantage 9-4.
Rebounding well so far. The Bruise brothers, as they call them, Eric Cardenas and Kevin Morrison, took turns in leading the team in scoring and rebounding last year against OBU in their 2 victories over the Chiefs. Cardenas had 28 points in one, Morrissey 14 rebounds in the other one, Morrissey 21 points. Cardenas 13 rebounds. Look for those 2 to come up big today.
John Whedon, Woolridge on him. This is Jones. Athletic move there, an interesting move. Martin controls it to Woolridge. 3-pointer, good, nice pick by Mike Hendren to open up Woolridge.
Woolridge's first 3-pointer of the game.
23-4, the Chiefs are bleeding.
You think Coach Wincase would have expected this?
The block shot by Ford, but the hustle by Stewart gets the offensive rebound and put back 23-6.
Bison hit 3 3-pointers this game.
Martin, reverse layup with the left hand. Nice shot. Clay Martin has 5 points, a 3 and a 2. Roberts trying to help out the Chiefs, and he missed. In and out. Morrissey rebound.
Just can't hit a shot. The Chiefs just cannot hit a shot, Mr. Hickman.
Inside to Mike Hendren, who was fouled before the shot. That foul will be on Leonard Jones. If you're Coach Case, Heath, 25-6, we've almost played half of this first half. What are you telling your, obviously there's still plenty of time, but the intensity level on the Chiefs bench and on the Chiefs players are just not there.
Well, the Chiefs average 94 points a game. Intensity's not there. They can't hit a shot, John. They're just